You are the sunshine of my life. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Vlog 15. We are talking about lighting today. That's why I started off singing You Are the Sunshine of My Life, because we're going to talk about sunshine a little bit later. But right now, let's talk about the main three types of lighting in interior design. So there's ambient lighting, task lighting, and accent lighting, right? So if you could think of ambient lighting, what do you think that would entail? If you could just take a guess. I'm going to tell you what it is, but if you could take a guess, just let me know in the comments below. But let's go ahead. Ambient lighting provides overall illumination to the space. So that's your ceiling lighting, those kinds of things. Task lighting focuses on light for specific activities, and accent lighting highlights design elements. So some examples of ambient lighting. Did you guys put your examples down in the comments? Because I'm about to give them to you. So, fluorescent lighting, can lights, ceiling lights, chandeliers, sometimes wall sconces, depending on how much light they actually provide. And then some examples of task lighting. Thinking of the word task, what are some examples you think that would be of a task light in an interior design space? I'll give you some examples, but I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Put it in the comments. But some examples include desk lamps, reading lights, under cabinet lighting, and pendant lights over kitchen islands. So certain tasks you would be performing, for instance, on a kitchen island, maybe dicing vegetables, or reading lights is self-explanatory. Or if you're in the bed getting ready to go to sleep, you may not want the overhead light on, but you might want the lamp on, just so you can see, but not so radiant light, right? So that's what task lighting is all about. And then what do we think about accent lighting? So what do you think an example of accent lighting would be? So I'm going to tell you, but just if you could think about it, what would you put in the comments about an accent light? Give you a couple seconds. Anywho, examples include wall sconces, track lighting, or spotlights. Also think about art. When you see a piece of art displayed and somebody has a light right over that particular piece so that you could really see it. Or up lights, can lights in the corners of a wall behind a plant, kind of giving the plant some dimension and depth with its shadow, as well as accenting the wall. Those are examples of accent lights. And of course, we can't forget the number one light of all, the sunlight. So we don't have sunlight 24 hours a day here, at least not here in Maryland. But sunlight is very important. I'm the type of person who, as soon as I'm up and about, I got those blinds open, because that's God's light. Your grandmother, your great grandmother used to say, just use God's light. Like, open the blinds up, open up the doors. I love natural light. But natural light can cause some issues with regard to your paint colors within your home. So while it's a great overall light, depending on where your house is situated, or your room in particular is situated with regard to sunlight, it could change the way that the paint is disseminated, or how it looks in your room. So for instance, it's important in picking your paint color. So sunlight significantly impacts how paint colors appear, with room direction and time of day playing crucial roles. North-facing rooms receive cool, indirect light, making colors appear subdued, while south-facing rooms get direct sunlight, brightening darker colors and potentially making whites look dull. East and west-facing rooms experience varying light throughout the day, with east rooms being bright in the morning and west rooms being in the evening. Understanding these effects is crucial for selecting the right paint color. And I say that because depending on a paint color you pick and you may put on your wall, if you have a brightly lit room, at night it may look like a totally different color. So it's something to consider, doing your due diligence with regard to getting those swatches, putting them on your wall, and letting you feel how it sits with you as the day goes by, because our sunlight is not always with us. So think about that in terms of how it will make you feel. Remember we talked about color drenching, right? Color drenching. So you're drenching your room in color and it's dark now. How does that make you feel? So taking into consideration how your room gets light when selecting a paint color and then doing those experiments to see how it works out. And I just wanted to talk really briefly, but really proudly about my orchid story. So I have been in the process of trying to grow an orchid. So I had the orchid, I bought it initially, it had bloomed completely. And I have an orchid whisperer, I call her Miss Maria, who is a nail technician at my nail salon, Satrice Spa. Shout out to Satrice and all the nail techs there. And she had just been advising me on what to do with the orchid. So I did exactly what she told me to do. And now my orchid is blossoming. It's two flowers that have blossomed so far with other buds coming forward. So I say all that to say, one of the things that I did do is put my orchid in the direct sunlight. Initially, I had her not so close to the window, like on a hutch nearby. But when I put her in that direct sunlight, she came to life. So the sunlight is so important for us. We know vitamin D, as well as it's just a source of light, right? It's the center of our universe. It's the brightest star. And we got to give the sun, her recognition, his recognition, whatever you want to call the sun. But I am big on making sure that I have a lot of sunlight in my life. I love the sun. So when you're decorating your spaces, remember the sun and how it's going to impact you. So shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to my beautiful orchid at home. I am in love. And take care. I will see you guys in the next one.
Look at the wallpaper behind that console table. It has lots of archways, just like that top we have on. We have on our dangly turquoise earrings to mimic the base of the lamp on the console table, and our Zulu headpiece just for a pop of color. Check out our red rose clutch that matches the rose arrangement on the top of the console table. And we have on our Greek key leggings and our heels that mimic the bottom of that console table. Remember Greek key from our episode about patterns and interior design? One more time for that beautiful top. I just think it matches so well with the wallpaper. It says it's a fairy tale world, and it is, because it's Vignette to Vogue, baby.